Hello, and welcome to Knitting My
Annika. Fuck.
Virgin's Yarn Baby.
Oh my god.
Issues, or is it yours?
It's mine. Hold on. I'm going to text Matthew. I just burst into laughter. I can't understand you. Hi.
There we go. You're back. Yay.
Just a second. I'm going to make sure he's not doing anything.
Hamilton!
I have to call again. We should start over.
That's cool.
Hamilton, no, not now. Trust me. I can't have somebody needing something from me now. Including you. You're supposed to want to make me feel better. I just got internet is unstable again and we froze while we're trying to record. Okay. It's happening. I mean, do you want me to keep a chart? Like, what do you mean take note of when it happens?
Hello, and welcome to Knitting My Shit Together, a podcast where neurodivergence and yarn collide. I'm Annika. I use they, them pronouns, and I'm in Moses Lake, Washington. You can find me online on Ravelry at Threadcatcher and on Instagram at tfueledliving.
Hi, I'm Farrah. I use she, her pronouns, and I live in Minneapolis, Minnesota. And you can find me on Instagram at TomboyFemBags and on Ravelry at Farrah Knits. And you can find us both under our Knitting My Shit Together account at Knitting My Shit Together on Instagram.
Yeah.
And we have a Ravelry group. And all the links are in our link tree on Instagram.
Yes. All right. So, announcements. First off, like we do every week now, we have to say hi to our number one fan and I think, Farrah's my most favorite fan. And so, hi, Arissa.
Hi, Arissa. We love you.
Yes. Okay. Other announcements. The Cover Your Ass knit along is currently going on, and we have about 3.5 months left. And yeah, it's been great. A lot of people have been making some really good progress lately. Even though it's slowed down just a tiny bit because of holiday knitting. But if you want to get in on this, we are currently knitting officially the Nether Garments pattern by Elizabeth Zimmerman. But you are welcome to knit or crochet or make anything that covers your ass, like hence the title of our KAL. And yeah, so you can use whatever yarn you'd like. The pattern is size inclusive because it's a recipe, so you have to do a little bit of math, but then it is made to fit every body, which is like really cool. Also, another benefit too is that Elizabeth Zimmerman is dead, and so she does not have the chance to become problematic anymore, which is also really helpful. So, yes.
Yeah.
we've had lots of conversations about this. Anyway, so if you would like to get in on this, but either yarn or getting the pattern or even the math is prohibitive for you, feel free to message Fair Eye. We have means to help with this, and we would love the KAL to be accessible for everyone. So if you want in on this, no questions asked, just feel free to message us and we'll get you what you need.
We'll get you.
Yeah. Speaking of our KAL, we also have patches for people participating in the KAL. We have a patch specifically for the Cover Your Ass Knit Along. And then we also have subscriber patches, and they are both $8 each shipped, and you can get them on the Tomboy Femme Bags website underneath the Knitting My Shit Together merch tab. And the subscriber patches will be ordered quarterly, with our first order going out in January, right?
We're going to order them in January, and so then they'll have to get made and then shipped to me, and then I'll ship them to people.
Yeah. So
place orders, people.
That you got a little bit of time left before our first order gets made. So
yeah.
And then the knit along patches will be ordered in March. So we've also got time for that. Let's see. Any other announcements?
New Year's Eve party?
What?
New Year's Eve party?
Oh, yeah. So, well, I guess we'll talk about my birthday then, too. So, my birthday actually falls on Stitch Group night this year. My birthday is December 28th. And so, you all should come and join and hang out. It's my 30th birthday, or it will be my 30th birthday. And it'll just be like super low key, but the plan is to do face masks. So if you have a face mask, should come join my party, Stitch Group that night, and come do it with them, or with all of us. And then also on New Year's Eve, we are hosting a virtual party for those of us who are like, let's celebrate the new year, but please don't actually make me like leave my house to like be with people that I don't really want to be with.
Be lots of like drunk strangers where it's crowded and loud.
Yeah. So feel free to join us in the Stitch Room. We will have it open. It'll be super low key, like our normal Stitch Group nights, and we're just planning on hanging out and crafting like we do during Stitch Group nights, and you're free to come and go as you please.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Oh, my eyes itchy. Like in the dry sort of way, and I can't figure out where I put my eye drops.
We have 2 giveaways going on for patrons.
Oh, yeah. You want to talk about those since you're in charge of those?
Yeah. So I like just randomly, and we also have the Sago Cycad hat giveaway going on.
Yeah.
Okay, so the giveaway for Knitting My Shit Together patrons, if you want to become a patron, go to our Patreon page. The link is in the description box down below. We have 2 going on. One is a shawl cuff that says Posse of Weirdos, # Posse of Weirdos. And to win that, you just have to comment on that post in Patreon about content you would like to see for Vlogmas. And then the second one is a beginner spinning kit. So it will be a beginner's drop spindle with a little bit of fiber to get you going. Some like fancy fiber. I mean, like it won't be like itchy, scratchy. You know, you should spin on nice fiber if you can treat yourself. So it will be that. And that, if you go to the post where I do the first drop spindle Vlogmas post, you can comment on what entices you about the idea of learning to spin on a drop spindle. And I am going to do a drawing for both of those on December 31st at the New Year's Eve party.
Sweet.
Yes. Oh, and then there's another giveaway going on that Knitting My Shit Together, we're kind of co-hosting with Shoba from Serendipitous Wool, with Nikki of Forest Fiber Arts, with Christina of Teal Torch Knits, and is that it? I think so. And yeah. I just remembered this podcast will probably be out after it, though. So never mind. You missed out. Sorry. Okay.
Well, you should follow our Instagram page.
Yep. Then you would have known.
You know about it. Shameless self-promotion plug right there for our Instagram. Yeah. Anyway, do we have any other announcements? I can't think of anything else.
I don't think so. I think that's it.
I think that's it. All right, let's move on to FOs. Do you have any FOs?
I have one FO.
Sweet.
I finished that crochet cowl, the giant one that I made. I kind of made it up, and I'm not like an avid crocheter. I just do granny squares or a big granny blanket and granny stripes. So this is kind of like my first foray into it. I'll show you it on. I mean, I'm not like, here it is on.
It looks so cozy.
It is. And you can hide in it, which is fun. So yeah, that's my FO. The yarn is by Wool and the Gang. And it was, I can't remember the color or type, but it was on sale for like $4 for a skein at Joann once when I was there getting sewing supplies. So I bought it. And this is 2 of the skeins. So that is my cowl that I invented. Yep. How about you?
Yeah, I do. I have an FO. I finished my test knit of the Sago Cycad socks that our friend Sultan designed, and like they're just
so pretty.
They were super fun to knit. Like, I think honestly they were more fun to knit than the hat was, and I completely enjoyed knitting the hat. But socks are just like my true love, I think. Socks and sweaters. But yeah, this was knit using Teal Torch Knits like mystery colorway for a couple months ago, I think. The green's called Northumberland, and I don't remember what the orange is called.
And you said the orange is really like a rusty color in real life,
yeah,
right?
The orange is really like a burnt orange rust color, not like this hunter orange that my computer really wants it to be. So these are very non-typical Annika colored socks in person. Like, they're very more Farrah colored socks in person, but they're beautiful and comfortable. And yeah, so be on the lookout for this pattern. It was super fun to test knit, and yeah, that's it for my FOs. Whips. What do you have for whips?
Oh, I have lots of whips. I'll start with a spinning whip. I don't have as much that I've worked on, or that I've worked on and I can show, but we'll talk. So spinning, I finished spinning half of this is called North Cascades. It's by Huckleberry Knits, and it is 75% Pullworth and 25% silk. And I got half the single spun. The other bobbin, I'm working on the second one right now, and then I will just ply the 2 together, and this will go to Annika when it's done, as soon as that is. But it was nice. There's a lot of turquoise in there that you can't really see. It doesn't show up super well, but yeah.
I'm so excited.
Then What else? Oh, this is my seamless pullover using Elizabeth Zimmerman's percentage system. This is the first sleeve. I've made some good progress. I finished all the sleeve increases, and from this marker right here, I'm supposed to knit 9 inches and then I'll be done with the sleeve. So, I have like 6 more inches maybe to go for the sleeve. And then I'll cast on and knit the other sleeve. Then, let's see. I have another thing that I did a ton of work on that I can't show you because it's a test knit. But I got a lot of work done on it. And I also got some work done on Matthew's second sock. I still don't have, hold on, I have a needle calamity going on in here. I still don't have I had just started the toe last episode, but, making a little progress. I still don't have the heel on the first sock because I've just been honestly kind of annoyed. I have an idea though. I think what I might do is when I pick up the stitches, put my hand in the sock and kind of open it up a little bit, and I think that might help.
That makes sense.
I don't know. It's so difficult though with the marled yarn. So, I don't know. Maybe that and under a bright light will do the trick. Who knows? I added more to my crochet blanket. Oh, and that yarn, by the way, that marled yarn is Holstgarn, their Highland sock, and it's the gray and kind of white marled. And for my sweater, I didn't share this. This is Retrosaria Rosa Pomar, the Mondium base in the golden yellow colorway. It's like a 100% Portuguese wool. And then scrap stuff. Yeah, this is just my scrap crochet that I'm working on, which keeps getting bigger. So here I am now. And now it's nice because now it's sizable enough to kind of cover my lap. So on cold days, it's really nice to sit and cross stitch on something that's simultaneously keeping you warm.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, and this is just fingering weight leftovers that I'm crocheting very randomly. Obviously, no color theme or structure. I'm just picking up random scraps and making a giant granny square.
I love it.
It's fun. It's going to be really fun when it's done. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah. I just want it to be pretty sizable, so it's going to take a bit, but that's fine. Okay, that I think is all my whips, unless you can think of something else I have. I did some sewing projects, but mostly I spent most of the time this week working on the secret thing I can't show.
Yeah.
That was like most of my knitting time.
Yeah, that's mostly what I've seen you knit is the secret thing you can't show.
Yeah, so one day you'll get to see it. And I signed up for another test knit. That I also won't be able to show.
Coke Zeros, by the way.
Huh?
I like that we're both drinking Coke Zeros. Like very on brand for us.
Coke Zero. You should get some. We're not sponsored by Coke Zero, but if Coke Zero wants to throw like $1 million our way, that's cool.
We'd have to seriously talk about it because
Coca-Cola
is a terrible corporation.
I know they are. So maybe not. Never mind.
Anyway.
As we both drink Coke Zero.
No.
But it is delicious. And I've tried to have alternatives. And they're just not as good.
No. They're really not. Yeah. I mean, I feel like there's a difference in our capitalistic society of purchasing very small quantities of their product, since you and I don't buy a lot of Coke Zero anymore, and receiving money from said terrible corporation.
Yeah, that's true.
So, yes.
Well, and you're just, and given our culture, you're just no one's gonna be able to be 100%. It's just impossible.
Yeah.
Unless you live completely off the grid and make everything you know what I mean? It would just be impossible.
So, though I've seen that episode of The Good Place, and that person was still going to the bad place because of the way that our world is at this point. Like, you can't do pretty much anything ethically anymore. So
I haven't seen that show.
Oh, it's so good. I love The Good Place.
I'll have to watch it. I do like Kristen Bell.
I do too.
Yeah.
Okay. I really like Kristen Bell and the way that she and who's she married to, Dax Shepard, like how open they are about like how helpful therapy is, like couples therapy is between them, like even when nothing's going wrong in their relationship, like just having a third party have open communication, like is just amazing. So anyway, tangent. All right, so for my whips, let's see. So I only have 2 real whips this week because I finished my socks. So my first whip this week is what Farrah and I have dubbed the Reclaiming My Time sweater. And so I finished a sleeve on it, and I am currently working on the second sleeve.
Be sure to show off the color blocking.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell because it's dark, but one's a charcoal gray and the other one is blue, and they actually are like the same
value.
Ooh, there it is. They're like the same like color spectrum area, and it's beautiful. So the yarn that I'm using for up here, the blue is Karen 1 pound in Cape Cod blue, and the gray is Red Heart Super Saver in charcoal. And yeah, it's just perfect, and I'm so close to being done. And the only issue with being like this close to being done, because like I'm still really enjoying knitting it, is the fact that like I want to cast on another one like right now. But I have like a whole list of projects and the yarn sitting there for said projects, and that I'd also like to get done. Excuse me. And so I should probably do those first instead of like casting on another one of these. But I definitely want to make another one.
You'll all be happy to know that, I mean, you might not be, but I am happy to know. And I think Annika's probably proud of me. The test knit I signed up for requires a weight of yarn. Well, it requires sport weight yarn, I can say that. But I didn't really have enough of anything that I wanted to use for this in my stash. And I was looking online to buy some, but I was like, ugh. And then I went to the Brooklyn Tweed site, and I remembered that Loft, which I have a ton of, can be knit up in sport weight because it's woolen spun. And so I was like, ooh. So I rearranged my projects, like what I was going to use that Loft for. I'm now going to use the Loft for the test knit, and some extra yarn I can use for the other thing I'm going to. And so basically I like rearranged everything so that I can use stash yarn.
That's awesome. I'm super proud of you for that.
Thank you.
So before I forget, the pattern that I'm knitting is Flax by Tin Can Knits. It's a free knit pattern. And I'm knitting the 55-inch bust size. And yeah. The other whip that I have is almost done. Is on my living room floor. Let me turn my camera around. Hold on. Okay, can you? Oop, wrong button. Hold on. This is not working. Please.
Can you turn your camera around on your laptop?
Yeah, I can turn the camera around on my laptop. However, I need to be able to see it. My taskbar won't go down. Please. Hold on. There we go. All right. Haha! I did it.
Nice.
So
that's massive.
Yeah, it's pretty big. It takes up the majority of the floor of my living room. So I am making a t-shirt quilt for my ex and of all of his t-shirts that we have lugged around in the, how many moves has it been? 11 moves, I think I counted in our like 10 years of being together. And so, or 9, yeah, either way. So those are all t-shirts that I cut up and made into like squares that he has meanings attached to. And I'm currently crocheting all of them together. And then I will put a backing on that will also be crocheted. And yeah, the yarn that I'm using for that is Red Heart Super Saver Ombre in Anthracite. And to get all of the holes and to be able to crochet into the t-shirts, I bought a skip cutter blade for my rotary cutter, and they're amazing. And I totally suggested if you are doing any projects where you have to
punch a lot
cut
of holes
into fabric, because they're amazing and fantastic, and like made the project super quick and simple. I was able to put the edging around all of the squares in 2 days after cutting all the holes in. So, nice. And that's a lot of squares down there. So,
and now you can kind of like make it, and then it's not yours to deal with ever again.
Ever again. I don't have to deal with any of this ever again, which is great, and I'm really excited. So, yeah, and yeah, so that's it for my whips. Oh, all right. Let's move on to mental health moment.
Mental health moment.
All right. So this week's mental health moment is brought to you by the letter W for, actually let's do the letter U for ugh. And I'd say the number probably 6. Yeah, 6 sounds good. For the amount of seconds it took Farrah to be like, ooh, let's do this for the mental health moment, because I was completely stumped. And yeah. So this week for the mental health moment, Farrah suggested that we talk about New Year's resolutions. And I think that is a great thing to talk about. So especially since New Year's is coming up here shortly. I personally do not set New Year's resolutions, and I hate the, what's the word I'm looking for? Push or what is the word I want?
Pressure?
Yeah, pressure. Thank you. I miss Adderall so much. The pressure to like completely change your life around starting January 1st every year. Like, I just hate the amount of pressure that society puts on everyone to like suddenly have your life figured out, like starting at the beginning of the year, like especially since the holidays are super stressful for a lot of people. And so like there's no respite time. It's just like from one really stressful thing to you have to better yourself right now. It's just like too much, too stressful, too soon. And also too, I don't think that for most people, like having a specific hard set deadline or like timed goal like that is healthy for most people. So I personally do not set New Year's resolutions. Personally, every year I will pick a word that I want to focus on for the year, and just like see where that takes me. So like a couple of years ago, my word was more, and like So like at the beginning of the year, I cultivated more more time spent like working on self-care and establishing self-care habits. And then I also like worked on sleeping more and eating more. And as someone who suffers from orthorexia um, and also from other disordered eating behaviors of that nature, like eating more was a really big one for me. So yeah, and then there was my word for this year specifically was roots, and like I really wanted to like get back to or like learn who I was as a person and discover more so what my values were and like work on establishing better boundaries that align with my values. And I feel like I've done that pretty well. So I don't know what my word for 2020 is going to be yet. I don't just arbitrarily pick it. I wait for it to come to me organically, I guess, and like see like where my life is actually going and what fits. And yeah, so yeah, I don't know what else to say.
I don't do New Year's resolutions either because I used to try and like fail all the time. Like like every year at Lent, I'm like, oh, I'm going to give something up for Lent. And then every Lent, like 3 days in, I'm like, sorry, Jesus, like maybe not. And then I try like other things like, I don't know. I will say this. One thing I question is like, I mean, it sounds like for you picking a theme and intention is totally working for you. But I know other years I've been like, I'm not going to give anything up. Instead, I'm going to like add something. But it's just for me, I just turn it into a new way to like basically do a resolution without calling it a resolution.
Yeah, I feel like I'm very, very, what's the word? Intentional about like not turning it into a resolution. Like I don't try and set goals that go along with the word. Like it's just like
I think maybe more than it sounds like it's more like a focus point for you. Yeah. And I will say this, statistics are on our side for hating resolutions. Like the average person has like by February, I think the average person who makes resolutions has kind of been like, statistically very few people end up in sticking with them.
Yeah.
And the thinking behind that is the changes that matter that you're going to actually make and stick. They happen in smaller bites over time rather than a big massive change all at once. And they're not usually affiliated with like an arbitrary date that you set. Yeah. You know, like, okay, I'm going to wait till this day to do this. Because a lot of times what that means is if it's like a behavior you want to quit, it's you saying, I really am not ready to quit now. So I'm going to say it's New Year's resolution so that I can keep indulging in this thing and feel okay about it until then. But then New Year's is going to come and that doesn't mean you're any closer to being ready to give it up yet. And so, yeah.
Yeah.
And that really, you know, when you're ready to change, you'll change.
Mm-hmm.
And it's generally not nearly as dramatic as like New Year's Eve resolution type things tend to be. Yeah.
And I feel like too that diet culture and all of that goes hand in hand with the whole resolution mentality too. And I mean, like, there's a big reason why, like, shortly after Christmas, you'll see all of these ads for, like,
Gym memberships.
And other diet plans and whatnot, like starting to pop up saying start January 1st because they go hand in hand. And I think honestly that might be one of the other reasons why I hate resolutions, like, is because they profit off of, like,
I think you hate resolutions for the same reason that you hate, like, detox and cleanses.
Well, I mean, besides the fact that detoxes and cleanses aren't rooted in real science, because
you have a detoxifier. It's called your liver.
Yeah, if your body isn't detoxing and cleansing itself the way it's supposed to, then you're probably in the hospital already, or your doctor knows about it. So, that I hate detoxes and cleanses for that. But I do also hate the whole market for it because it's also rooted in fat phobia, and that just, like, pisses me off because, like, even if you're disabled, even if you're fat, even if you're queer, even if you're purple and covered in, like, blue stripes, like, your body, there's, like, nothing inherently wrong with the way your body is. If you're purple and covered in blue stripes, you might want to see a doctor, though. But that's just for, like, more medically necessary things than there being something inherently wrong with you as a person. So yeah, I think that's the other reason why I hate resolutions, is because resolutions are, like, rooted in there's something inherently wrong with me as a person that I need to change, and I just don't subscribe to that. So yeah.
It's interesting. I don't know what I'm going to do this year. Maybe I just won't do anything. That's what I've done lately the past few years. It's just like, I'm not doing anything because I won't do it anyway. I'm like, ooh, maybe I could do, like, an intention. But see, it would just be my New Year's resolution is to not do anything surrounding a resolution.
I like it. That's a good one.
Yeah, that's my resolution. Just to keep doing what I do the rest of the year.
I like that.
Yeah. But, it would be interesting to hear people's thoughts. Feel free to comment below. Discuss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'd love to have more actual discussion about resolutions. So please comment below.
Do you do a resolution? If so, has one ever worked for you? And what was it? And why do you think it worked for you, since statistically they don't? Or do you have some other kind of neat tradition that you do every year that you want to share? That we could all maybe learn from and incorporate into our own rituals. Yeah, that'd be cool to learn about.
Yeah.
The one New Year's tradition we've had, it's kind of a New Year's Eve tradition. It's New Year's Eve day tradition. So, like, not New Year's Day, not New Year's Eve, but the afternoon before New Year's Eve. Is Matthew and I have a tradition where we watch The Big Lebowski and drink White Russians. Because White Russians are featured prominently in The Big Lebowski.
Are they? I've never seen it.
Yeah, I'm going to make you watch it.
Are you going to make me a White Russian too? Because I don't think I've ever had one of those either.
Yes, I will. They're delicious. White Russians are, like, the only frou-frou drink I like. And I wouldn't say I like. They're yummy. But, like, I wouldn't go to a bar and order a White Russian. But, like, I'll drink them when I watch The Big Lebowski. Maybe we can do that the week you're here for my birthday.
Yeah, sounds good.
I'll save the watching till then. Okay. Anything else?
I don't think so. I think that's it. If you liked our podcast, subscribe, comment below, give our podcast a thumbs up, please and thank you.
Thank you.
If you didn't, and you're the one person who keeps giving us that one thumbs down on, like, the majority of our videos, we're sorry that you apparently don't like our podcast, but I'm still not sure why you're watching every single episode. Thanks for the views.
Is it the same person?
I have no idea. I haven't looked at the data.
Yeah, if there's a podcast that you hate that much, you should just quit watching.
But there's literally been like one thumbs down on the majority of our videos at this point, and I'm assuming it's the same person that's continuing to watch and give us the one thumbs down. So, I mean, I could be completely wrong, and there could be multiple, but I don't know. Anyway, we do lives on Instagram every Wednesday and Friday. On Wednesday, we talk about what's hot right now on Ravelry, and we generally call out at least one designer every single week for making a non-size inclusive pattern, because they've just decided.
Just keep on coming.
Yeah. Oh, I don't even know. But we also throw little dance parties for when we find size inclusive designers in the top 5. Like we did last week. It was amazing. And we also have really deep discussions about pom-pom sizes and hats. And then on Fridays, we talk about acquisitions. And when we run out of things that we plan to talk about, we just hang out and talk with the community. And it's honestly a lot of fun. And it's the part of the lives that I look forward to the most every week. And yeah, so you should join us.
That's how we came up with the phrase "posse of weirdos" that we use all the time now.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are good times, those chats.
Yeah, I absolutely love them. So yeah, I think that's it. So join us for our Instagram lives, and we will see you here next week on Monday or whenever you're watching this for our next podcast episode.
We're going to have to figure out, it might be the next one we record might be the New Year's one.
Yeah.
Because we're a week behind now having one in the hopper, which I like. But we should figure it out.
Less stressful.
Yeah. Okay. Bye, folks.
Bye.